Evening all, welcome back to the channel. I've had a bit of a change of plans in the last week or so. Originally I was going to post a video about our trip down to Bustleton, which was brilliant, but I had some issues with the videos, so unfortunately I can't post that one just now. But what I am going to do is post a video about my trip to the prosthetist yesterday. So I had to go to the prosthetist because unfortunately I have broken my prosthesis. Now, I suppose it's not my complete prosthesis, it's the foot on my prosthesis. So it's not quite as dire as breaking the prosthesis itself, but still obviously needs to be fixed. So this is obviously my second prosthesis. This is what it's my first prosthesis, but I usually use these for sports and active sort of situations, running, whatever it may be, working out. So this one's fine, but I'll just pull off my prosthesis. This one has seen better days. So I'll just take off my shoe. So you can see here, the foot shell is pretty much completely split. So split at the heel, so that's there, and split at the toe. Now you can see that it's already worn down the actual foot itself through just wear and tear on the floor, because it doesn't have a foot shell to protect it, obviously. All right, so I've got them to order a new foot shell for this, so that should fix this. But this prosthesis is fairly old. This one's probably 5 years old. So we're going to put in a submission to get this one, to get a new one, to replace this. And I'm going to trial some new prosthetic feet when I get that as well. So hopefully that will all happen within a month or so. I'm going to get the new feet, so I'm getting 2 new feet, which we're going to trial on this prosthesis. Then we're going to get a new prosthesis made. That's the way that I understood it yesterday when I was speaking to the prosthetist, so that's what we're going to do. The new prosthesis won't be, the new foot won't be this type. This one's obviously a different material than what this one is. Most of them are carbon fiber like this. This one's a new composite, which is called the Rush Foot. I'm going to trial a couple of the low profile carbon fiber foots on this one, and may end up going back to the Rush Foot. I don't know yet. It's just more trial and error. And the main reason I'm trialing new foot is because for a long time I've had quite serious back problems, and a lot of that stems from the way that I walk, because I'm very heavy on the heel of my feet, which quite often jars my lower back. So I want to trial out a prosthetic foot which has a bit more flexibility, a bit softer in its in the way that it moves. So that's why I'm trialing that, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know yet. I've never tried these feet, so it's a learning experience for me as well. All right, so just whilst I'm here, I just want to give a few tips that I have picked up along the way, which sort of makes it a little bit easier to wear your prosthesis. Obviously, it's going to be different for every person. Like every prosthesis is different. Every person is different, so it's going to be very individual. The first one, and I only just started doing this, is because I split my prosthesis and the foot shells on these prosthesis don't last as long as they probably should. What I often do is will use this to take the foot shell off. Okay, so you get it under the lip in here and up like that, and then from there and off. Now you can see there, this one's fairly well used. That's the foot shell itself. This one's fairly well used. I've got another one of these black. You can see where all the dirt and everything gets in, because the foot shell is open at the top. A lot of dirt gets in here, even if it hasn't got a split there. A lot of the dirt gets in the top, and you can see here you got a lot of dirt and debris and stuff like that in there. You can even see on the top there a lot of dirt there. You can see that, obviously very dirty. So I will clean that out. So this, and as I say, I only started doing this like literally probably 12 months ago. I got one of these, brilliant contraption. It's basically a shoehorn, but the way that it's got that there allows a lot more leverage. So that's one of the tricks of the trade. Second one, and this is obviously quite important, because when you split your foot shell and your prosthetic foot comes through the foot shell, it plays absolute havoc on the shoes. The number of shoes I've gone through because the prosthetic foot starts to wear through the bottom of the shoe is incredible. So what I do, and you can do this at home. I mean, this one I actually got my prosthetist to make, but you can use a ice cream container lid. I've done it with that before. Anything plastic, okay, this is even stronger than plastic, but it just stops the prosthetic foot from wearing through into the shoe. It's saved me so many pairs of shoes. It's unbelievable. So yeah, you just cut it out, put it in there, and voila. As you can see, I haven't even got any, hasn't even worn through this shoe before, and you can see that they're still quite old. So that's the second. And the third one before we call it a day is with socks. Now, sometimes you have to do this, sometimes you don't. With this prosthesis here, this one's a little bit looser than what I usually wear. This one I don't have that issue, so I don't need to do this. But with this prosthesis, I wear 3 socks. Now, I've got cotton socks and I have woolen socks. These ones are obviously a lot thicker, but I wear 3 socks with this one. And it's just because that's, I mean, you don't want it too much more than that. I mean, this is how the socks look. Okay, and this one's the woolen one. You don't want it too much thicker than that, because obviously it gets too thick and starts getting too hot and stuff like that. So yeah, you don't want to have like 6 or 7 socks on, but 3 socks is perfectly fine for me. Like I've never had any issues of sweating and stuff like that in these prostheses. So yeah, that's what I do to sort of pad my leg out a little bit so that it can fit in the prosthesis properly. So that's 3 little hacks there that you can use. Most of them you could use. Most of them you could use like with other types of prosthesis, but that's just obviously what I do to make my life a little bit easier wearing a prosthesis. So what I'm going to do is I am going to record my upcoming prosthetic appointments. Hopefully we'll have some decent footage of the new prosthetic feet in action, and we'll be able to provide a good comparison of the different prostheses. So I'm definitely going to bring you that, but that's probably going to be in a month or so. We haven't got an exact date as to when the trial feet will come in, but I suspect it'll be 4 to 6 weeks. So that will be on the agenda. Also, I wanted to, coming up or in the future, I want to do another video, but just dedicate it to hacks and stuff like that I do, because believe me, there are hundreds of things that you end up learning over the years that make your life a little bit easier, with regards to wearing a prosthesis or not injuring yourself, or trying to rectify some of the pains and that come with wearing a prosthesis or having a disability or whatever it may be. So I definitely want to concentrate a little bit more on that. But other than that, thanks everyone for joining in today and coming back to the channel, and by all means like and subscribe to the channel, comment, tell me what you want to see. I'm open to any suggestions, and I hope everyone is enjoying the content.